Hey everybody, it's Safi and Marco Dish Out on Movies, the only movie review show on YouTube to review movies in terms of food. It's just Marco here once again, and I am here today to review Hell's Kitchen Season 24, Episode 2. And I am not doing this video with Safi because she did not watch the review in time, and I wanted to get the review done. She will be doing a review next week, and she will not miss review again. I don't know what she thought. She started watching the episode right as I was, and then I told her, and then she told me, like, a couple of comments, and then I just assumed that she would, finish the episode, but for some reason she just watched like 10 minutes of it and then turned it off, and so I apologize for that. Safi's a little slow. She's a little slow when it comes to Hell's Kitchen. She prefers shows like Alien Earth, where they don't even resolve anything in the finale because they're so pretentious and they're so full of themselves. They already know they have a season 2. So, she prefers shows like that. She prefers movies like what was that duck movie last year? The full moon movie? I can't remember. We watched a movie last year that was like about an alternate universe where ducks are in charge and they make people into human tea. And so that was the reference that I just did there. But overall, this Hell's Kitchen episode was pretty damn good. It was pretty funny. It was pretty entertaining. And overall, it seems like Gordon this year, he's trying to trim the fat really, really fast. He's looking at these people and, right off the bat, he does this scallops challenge where each team had to cook scallops, and then the sous chefs would taste all the dishes, and they would choose the best dishes for Gordon to taste, and then the worst ones too. And then whomever cooked the worst plate got sent home. And unfortunately, I do not remember like any of the names at all, except for like Anaya. And that's because, like, earlier this year, I met a girl on a dating app, and her middle name was Anaya, so... Or wait, no, was it her last name? I can't remember. She wasn't very interesting, so... but I remember that name. So other than that, I don't really remember anyone at all. I don't remember any names. So if I sound insulting this review... I'm not trying to sound insulting. I just don't really... I don't know these people. I know them as beard guy and long hair girl. Like that's like my basic comprehension of the people of Hell's Kitchen is like just nothing. But like Gordon, right off the bat, he wants to send someone home after this first challenge. I thought that was kind of surprising. But I thought, you know what, it was actually a good point that he made, was that, like, if you can't even cook a scallop, then how are you going to be, my head chef? Like, how are you going to be able to do these dinner services where, you got scallops every single episode for the appetizers? So I thought that was actually a very valid point that Gordon made, and I thought that it was kind of strange, though. It kind of felt like a reality TV show type of choice rather than like a smart choice, because at the end I thought honestly there should have been more people to go home than just one. And I think that if he hadn't sent home the first person, then he could have sent home the 2 people at the very end of the episode. But because he sent home that first person, the guy from Alaska, he could not send anyone home at the end except for one person. So anyways, also, like, I wasn't really crazy about any of the scallops dishes. I will say that I would love to have scallops. I haven't had scallops in a long time. I think I've had them in, like, from like, really cheap Chinese places, or maybe like a Mexican restaurant here or there, but I haven't had like proper fancy scallops in a long time, and they're really good. Like they're kind of underrated. They're underrated and they're overrated at the same time, because they're the number one dish that like pretentious people make and pretentious people like. But overall, like, I'm trying to remember if there were like any surprises. I guess I knew that the girl who did good last episode, she also did good this episode. The one who won the team challenge last episode, the new mother from California, she did a great job once again. But the person who did the worst job was the guy from Alaska. Oh yeah, and also the vegan. I don't know about the vegan. The vegan, I think I'm going to need to take a couple of episodes to evaluate her in multiple ways, multiple categories. She seems kind of like helpless in some areas, but then in other areas she seems very confident. Like, it's really weird. Like, she's okay with cooking meat, which is actually really nice. They had these vegans on MasterChef, and I can't remember. I think they were trying to like avoid cooking meat, like they cooked like meat substitutes, and they did that every single episode, and they got sent home pretty fast. And then even on team challenges, they cooked the vegetables. And it's like, why are you even on MasterChef or Hell's Kitchen if you're not going to cook what you're supposed to cook? Like that's a requirement of being there. So this chef, even though she's a vegan, she actually is willing to do what she needs to do, which I think is respectable. But at the same time, she makes very questionable decisions. She's very unsure of herself. In the first episode, she didn't give Gordon enough, and this episode, I think that she made like everything that she could make. She made like potatoes, polenta, she made fucking purees, she made like vegetables and shit. Like, she just made everything. And she was like, well, Chef Gordon, I wanted to layer the flavor, like an onion, I wanted to layer all the flavors for you, and the scallops would be at the very, very top. And I thought, you know what, like, this isn't a burrito, okay, vegan girl? This is not a 7-layer burrito from Taco Bell. We don't want, what's up with the layers? You never see like at a fancy fine dining restaurant, you never see like, oh, well, here's your scallop dish and there's 10 layers to the scallop dish. Like, this isn't a bean dip, like a 7 to 10 layer bean dip, like this is a scallops dish, and scallops are light. When you make scallops, you put light stuff around it. Like, you go light because it just, that is the nature of the dish. Like, when you make a steak, when you cook a steak, you can put some potatoes in there. You can put some broccoli in there. You can put some asparagus in there. But when you make little scallops, you don't need very much. The scallops are the star. You don't want to smother the scallops. But see, this is where being a vegan is a problem, because vegans don't like meat. And so vegans aren't going to know. They're not going to recognize. I don't know how long this chick has been vegan. It's not really my business, but she wouldn't know, possibly. Like, scallops, like, who knows what scallops even are to her. Like, they might as well just be like, I don't know, like aliens or something. Like, like, you guys know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't eat scallops, then you don't have the appreciation. You don't have the same taste as people who've eaten scallops and actually eat scallops in the present tense. So, she came from a perspective of like, oh, well, I'm going to put all this other shit on top. And the other shit is actually just as good because that's the stuff that she likes. That's that's the vegetables. That's all the other stuff. And so that's the stuff that it was a competing thing there because she doesn't have appreciation for scallops like everyone else there. Even the guy who got sent home has more of an appreciation for scallops than her. And also, there was a guy from Massachusetts. He did a really good job. That was not surprising, but I just remembered that. But the guy who went home, he was from Alaska, and I think he screwed up last episode, too. I can't really remember, but there's two guys. There's two black guys. That they're both bald, and I can't really remember like which one screwed up really badly last episode. I think one of them last episode have like the worst dish according to Chef Gordon. I can't remember which one it was though. But the Alaska guy, he went home and he overcooked his scallops and yeah. But at the same time, like honestly, I don't know. Like, I don't know if he should have sent someone home before the first dinner service. I think that at the end of the episode, I gotta be honest. If I were Chef Gordon, I would have sent 3 people home. 3. That's a sizable amount of people. And so maybe the guy from Alaska wouldn't have been as bad. Maybe Chef Gordon made a bad choice there because the dinner service was a disaster. It started off well for the women. The women actually started off pretty good. And it was kind of surprising actually because at least from, my perspective so far is that both teams they just kind of, they seem more like individuals working together rather than being a team. So I didn't expect either of them to do very well on their first service. But the women started off pretty well, and then they fell apart. And in particular, there was one girl, and I can't remember her name. I think it was Maddie or Kate or Coat. I can't remember, but she got really overwhelmed and upset. I think she's like 18 or 19. Like, she's really young. She's really inexperienced. And she looked like a kid from MasterChef Junior came to Hell's Kitchen. She did not look well. And she was like, oh no. Like she was just completely horrified. It was like, it was kind of scary actually. It was kind of sad. It was kind of humiliating. And it was like, wow, like that's really unfortunate. Like it just shows though that, when you watch Hell's Kitchen from out here, I would never join Hell's Kitchen. I would never sign up. But there's a lot of people probably that would say, it'd be really easy, and I bet that it's a lot easier, and but like, no, I don't think so. I think it would be even harder than you could ever imagine. And it's just sad to see someone who she loves cooking and she wants to have a cooking career, and it's sad to see that like she just was not ready for this experience. She was she was like a she I don't even know how to describe her. I mean, she was like you take a little shrimp, just one little shrimp, and you just drop it in the fire. You just drop it in a fire pit, and it's like, ooh! It's like she didn't stand a chance. It was very, very tragic. It was very upsetting, but yeah. I don't even feel like making fun of it anymore because it was just kind of sad. And then the men's team, they just sucked. They sucked so badly. First off, you had the guy with the glasses. I can't remember. Was his name Colt? I can't remember. He sucked. He couldn't cook bread. He couldn't cook flatbreads. He couldn't cook pizza. They ran out of dough, so they had to make salads instead. Like, that's just like an epic failure. And that guy's not going to make it. He's not going to last very long on this show. He can't even cook bread. I mean, are you kidding me? And then there was a guy, I don't know his name. I can't remember his name, but he's a real piece of shit. And he's got curly hair, long curly hair, and I can't remember where he's from either. That would have helped. I know that the Colt guy, he's from Montana. I can't remember the curly hair guy, but the curly hair guy, he kept on screwing up the risotto. And he also was very uncommunicative with with the guy doing fish, the guy doing scallops. So the guy doing scallops, he was the other bald guy, and he had trouble like timing the scallops because the curly hair guy just would not communicate or talk. But then at the end of the episode, the curly hair guy, he was like trying to play dirty, and he was trying to pin the blame all on the scallops guy. And he did make a good point, which is, we just did a challenge where Gordon said you have to cook scallops, and if you can't, then you don't belong here. But at the same time, like, he could cook scallops. It's just the fact that the curly hair guy, he kept on screwing up, and he kept on, stalling him. And so he had a problem. He had to make a choice. And so it was a very horrible situation that he was put in. So he did a terrible job. The curly hair guy, he was terrible. I would have sent him home. I would have sent the guy with the glasses home, and I would have sent home the inexperienced girl. And I can't even remember the other girl who got put up, but both teams got kicked out of the kitchen, which that's kind of not surprising anymore. Like, it's kind of become commonplace for both teams to get kicked out of the kitchen when Hell's Kitchen kind of begins. Because it's almost like, the people, they didn't realize how hard it would be. They didn't realize what the experience would be like and how intense it would be. And so, yeah. But eventually, the only person who goes home is the inexperienced girl. And I knew that she was going to go home because while she was saying, "Oh, but Chef, I can learn." While she was saying stuff like she can learn, she's inexperienced, Chef Gordon Ramsay, he was shaking his head. He was shaking his head during her elimination plea. And so I knew that was a big red flag. I am kind of surprised, though, that he didn't send home the curly hair guy, too. Because the curly hair guy, he just turned into a straight, like, man baby. And he started blaming his other teammate again. He was like, "Well, it wasn't really my fault because my teammate let me down. I can't do it because my teammate, he betrayed me. He betrayed me. He let me down." Mwah. I mean, God, that guy, I know his hair is long, and I know that I shouldn't, like, judge him, but, like, maybe he should join the women's team because he cries so much, because he's such a bitch. I mean, I just couldn't believe it. Like, he's trying to, like, he really played dirty trying to send that other guy home. He was really trying to manipulate things, and I just, why would Gordon want to keep that guy there when he knows that guy is going to blame other people for his problems? Was it the scallops guy's fault that he didn't cook the risotto right? I don't think so. I think that was all his fault. And he did a terrible job. So if it were me, I would have sent 3 people home. I don't care if that sounds like mean or cruel or heartless. I don't care. I mean, it's just the right thing to do. In fact, I would have done a twist. I would have said, you know what, you guys? I'm Chef Gordon now. I'm the captain now. And guys, you have done a bad job. And so I am going to bring back the guy from Alaska, and he is going to take all three of your places. And we're going to see if sending him home earlier was a mistake. But I know that sending you three home is not a mistake. Okay, I'm not good at that kind of stuff. I'm not a reality show host. I'll be the first one to admit it. But that's what I would have done. Because maybe the guy from Alaska, maybe he would have done a better job than all three of those chefs that deserve to be sent home. And then next week, it seems like there's going to be something really bad that happens that shuts the kitchen down, and then someone gets arrested. I don't know what's up with that. Hopefully, it's a fake out, because I'll tell you guys something. There's nothing worse than like having like a bad experience with people you work with having an experience where someone like does something that just really, really, like, it's very negative. It really brings the morale down, and it completely changes the vibe. And the only cure is to just cut that person out. And I know this because in the summer I was shooting a short film, and I had a horrible instance of on-set bad behavior from someone else. And it was horrible. And it could have escalated, and I got rid of him for good, permanently, and he's never going to be, working with me again. But I just know that how horrible that can be. It's not funny, it's not fun. It's a terrible experience, because it's like it's tainting what you like to do. It's tainting cooking. It's going to taint everything. If someone there does something so bad that they have to get arrested. I mean, the guy that I worked with, like, he didn't get arrested for anything, but, like, honestly, like, so how much worse could this guy, whoever he or she, I don't know what they did. I don't know, but they did show someone getting put in cuffs. I don't know. Maybe it's a fake out. Hopefully it's a fake out, because they showed a lot of police there. So let's paint a situation. Let's paint a scenario. Okay, maybe for a challenge or for the dinner service, I don't know. Gordon brings them outside, and then he pretends that one of them did something bad and he's going to get arrested. They put him in cuffs, and then he says it's a prank. Hopefully that's what it is, because I hope that the people who did the show didn't have to go through some kind of a terrible experience, have something bad happen. That would be terrible, but it would make for good television. So, yeah. I don't know what that laugh was about, by the way. I apologize for my laugh. I do not endorse my laugh. But I own it, so I mean I have to endorse it. So it's a soft endorse. So in terms of a rating, I would give this episode a B+. I think that the big thing that I didn't like was sending the guy from Alaska home. I just felt like it was premature, and especially knowing those three people and what they did the rest of the episode, the glasses guy, the curly hair guy, and the young girl, all three of those people deserve to go home a lot more than the guy from Alaska. I mean, all the guy from Alaska did was overcook scallops. I mean, another guy who had a bad dish, he took up his dish and it looked really, really gross. He did something with like scallops and water and shit. And there was like this like cat puke under the scallops, and everything was in a giant seashell, and that looked really unappetizing and bad. And so, like, I don't know why. I really think that guy was done dirty. I'm just glad that the other guy wasn't done dirty at the end of the episode, because I was really scared that they were going to send him home. He did screw up some scallops, but it really wasn't his fault. But he was willing to take accountability for it, compared to the curly hair guy who just wanted to blame everyone else like a little bitch. So anyways, please like this video and comment and tell me what you thought of Hell's Kitchen Season 24, Episode 2. And Safi will tell you what she thought next week. I'm not sure what I will review today or tomorrow, which I think I'll probably upload this tomorrow. But just in case I upload it tonight, that's why I'm saying tonight or tomorrow, or today or tomorrow, whatever. But the new VHS movie is coming out tomorrow. And I think that actually looks like it's a lot of fun. I really look forward to watching the new VHS movie every year. And this year it is Halloween themed, so it's going to have like Trick or Treat and stuff. And I think that the VHS movies are fun. I think that they're fun. I think that they're a good training ground for new and up and coming filmmakers, you know, like to test their skills and to make like these little short found footage films. Like, I'm actually tempted, I don't know, I keep on starting projects and then getting really excited about them, and then I kind of lose interest a little bit. Like, and I'll be the first one to admit that. And, but maybe it would be, like, fun to make, like, a found footage movie. Because I would be really interested. I'm always about, like, trying to improve and trying to, you know, look at what I did and do better, or look at other people's work and try to do better. And so it would be really interesting to try to make like a great found footage film with my resources, which it's not a lot. It's not a lot, but it's enough. And then please, I forgot where I was at though. Like, did I already do the please like and subscribe and comment and all that shit? Well, please do all three of those things if you want to. I implore you to do those things if you enjoyed this video, because you will not regret it. And you will also not regret it. You will also not regret it if you go to our Patreon page. Yes, that's right. We have a Patreon page. It's all the same kind of shit that we do on this channel. It's just going to be a lot more fun and a lot better. I'll tell you guys something. I get a little bit more explicit. I don't hold back as much, which if you guys think that I don't hold back right now, just wait until you watch those videos and then you'll know. And then you'll know. And also, I'm just going to be posting a ton of behind-the-scenes filmmaking content, including my upcoming short film, County Fear, which comes out on October 31st. You will not regret doing that after I already said you will not regret subscribing to our channel. Goodbye, everybody. See you soon.